2.
Ladies and gents, welcome back to the Get a Clue podcast. I'm your host, DeAndre Boychuk, and I'm here with my co-host, Chase Arnold. Chase, why don't you let them know what we're going to be talking about today? We got a late night episode.
Late night.
Yeah, so
Yeah, we got a
why don't you let
different
everyone
different
know?
one. Different one today.
Yeah,
We got a little fun idea. We've been kind of thinking of some ways we can get away from the podcasting kind of stuff. It's still a podcast, but just less hockey talk and more centralized on one point. And today's topic is Kyle Dubas with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and like in general, was it his fault? The fall of the Maple Leafs, the reign of the Maple Leafs, whatever you want to call it. The curse, is it the curse? I'm sure we'll both have a verdict by the end, I think, but yeah, I think it's gonna be an interesting one. I mean, looking back at some of this stuff, it definitely had me thinking for sure.
yeah, no, I agree 100%. Yeah, definitely interesting. Lots of big moves done on his side, so that'll be fun just to highlight it. And like you said, kind of just get away from the NHL news and stuff right now and just kind of talk about some different sort of ideas and things and kind of maybe try out some different ideas for the podcast going forward.
Yeah, and then if people like it, then we'll stay with it. I just wanted to mention
Exactly.
I appreciate all the support, or we appreciate all the support on the shorts, the TikTok, the Instagram reels. They've been doing very very well. So keep on reposting those. They got the little repost on Instagram. Those are big. We'd appreciate that. And then TikTok, I mean, just like it, view it. That'd be nice. We'll keep getting views, and well, I mean, we got guests planned, and yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got. Just appreciating the
Yeah.
love.
Yeah. Why don't you get us started off? I don't know where you want to start
Yeah,
here with the
yeah.
Kyle Dubas.
I was thinking let's just get his recent time over. Let's talk about his time in Pittsburgh. Um, just to get it over with. I mean, we could end with that, but I really want to hammer down on the Toronto thing after this. So, when he first came to Pittsburgh, I just wanted to talk about some of the things he first did. His first draft class was the Braden Yeager draft, where they selected Braden Yeager in 2023, 14th overall. He was later traded for Rutger McGrody, who was also a 14th overall pick in Winnipeg. I think we both kind of liked that trade at the time. I remember we both really liked Yeager, but we thought McGrody was more NHL ready. Um, but yeah, what was your thought of his first draft pick there?
Yeah, I thought I liked it. I liked Jaeger at the time, definitely. Big time prospect coming out of the WHL, and you always got to give props to the local Sask boy. So, yeah, I thought it was a great pick, and like you said already, definitely at the time of the trade, I thought that maybe this was kind of an upside for Pittsburgh. McGrory looked absolutely nasty coming out of the National Development Program, and then in Michigan there too. So, um, and especially at the World Juniors too, he kind of took
Yeah,
on that like villainous role, I guess, with that team. And I think they went 2 for 2 on gold medals. So yeah, he looked really good as a prospect and dealing with some injury stuff here as of
yeah,
late. But I thought this was a great first trade and or great first draft pick here for Dubas.
yeah. And it's hard to tell who really won the trade so far. I mean, Yeager hasn't played in the NHL yet, and McGrody's played just a handful of games, 20, 25 games. So um, yeah, it'll be interesting to see, because I think Yeager definitely has some upside there, but we got to see him in the NHL first. And McGrody's playing and playing decently. So
Yeah, exactly. But go ahead here with your next
okay.
one.
Let's just finish up his draft stuff here. He only had two more draft classes. 2024, they did not have their first round pick. They took two second round picks. It was Tanner Howe, who I think we both thought was overdrafted and heavily relied on Bedard to get into that second round. Maybe that was just my opinion, but and then Brunicki as well, defenseman playing in the WHL right now, I think. He's actually having a pretty good productive season, but didn't play very well when he played up in the NHL for a few games. Um, not a bad couple picks there. Obviously we're just highlighting their early picks, but that kind of signals that they didn't really have many good late picks. So
Yeah, I like this 2024 draft quite a bit for Pittsburgh. Like Brunicky playing games this year, like he didn't look great, but I mean, just getting reps at the NHL level, it's going to instill confidence in him next year coming into camp, and I mean, especially in the preseason. And then the Tanner Howe pick, yeah, I thought it was interesting at the time. Thought maybe it was an over pick, but he's dealt with some injury stuff as well as McGroarty the last little bit. But the games he has played in the AHL, he has looked good. I think
mm-hmm.
this was his first pro year, and I think he's got around 15 points in 24 games or something like that. You have to check the stats, but looking like a good value pick for a second rounder so far.
Yeah, agreed. I think this next draft is really a highlight draft for him. 2025. He drafted Kindle with the 11th pick. He actually had three first round picks this year. He took Zonin and Will Horkoff, and then, or wait, maybe just three first round picks, and then Peyton Kettle's in the second there. Um, yeah, I mean, super good draft in my opinion. I mean, we've seen what Kindle can be. Is it Kindle or Kindle? I think it's Kindle, right?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
so.
okay, Kindle. I just keep on saying Kindle. I don't know why. Zonin's having a pretty good year in the Q as well. He's got like 40 some points in 30 games, I think. Um, and then Will Horkoff, who I had a nice little rant about a couple episodes ago, and just being a big fan of his. And yeah, I really like that draft for them a lot, and I think that's gonna be a really good workaround for them in the future.
Yeah, 100%. Like you already highlighted on and playing well in the queue. Um, Definitely like Kendall. He's played great in the NHL so far, especially for an 18-year-old. So it's been great to see him getting a lot of reps and succeeding with the reps that he's been getting. And then Will Orkoff, yeah, like you said, we both like this guy. He's kind of cooled off since the Christmas break a little bit. Post Christmas break, he was leading the nation in scoring, but Michigan just kind of has fallen down the leaderboard in general in the NCAA rankings. So definitely not just on him, but
Yeah,
I think he's going to be a stud. Your former NHL player's kid, so
yeah,
I think they hit it out of the park. I think with this draft, but time will tell.
yeah. And it's funny, like Horkoff fell off, and he's still got 60 points in 35 games. Pretty crazy. Yeah, yeah, I'm
Uh,
pretty sure.
I don't know about that.
No,
No, I don't think so. Because Whitenback's leading the NCAA with 57, I think.
dude, I don't know. We, I don't. We might have to fact check. Maybe
Yeah, you might have to check
I'll
this.
let's check because
I don't think Horkoff is. Yeah, I think Whitenback's leading the NCAA with 57 right now.
yeah, I could also just wrote the numbers in reverse. Also, very likely,
That's valid.
very likely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's
Oh
gonna
yeah,
be.
I did write the wrong number. I wrote down his penalty minutes. So, he's just point
Okay.
for game. He's 36 for 36. I was gonna say there's no way he had
Just
60 points. I was confused, but um,
yeah, no, he's
yeah,
gonna be a
very
player
good.
I think in this league, and yeah, unreal player I think at that draft pick.
Yeah. And then their next couple drafts, we'll get to those in trades, obviously, but Dubas has done a really good job accruing picks while keeping the team above water. And in 2026, they have their own first and 2 seconds. And then 2027, they have their own first and 2 seconds. And then 2028, they have three second round picks and their own first round pick. I mean, that is a lot of value to either draft with or trade away in a bigger deal. Um, yeah, I think he's done very well to grab assets where he can.
Yeah, and definitely looking at the direction that Pittsburgh's going in the next few years with Crosby probably hanging him up in the next. I don't know. He's probably got two or three left in him. I don't see him making it to the next Olympics. So yeah, I mean they got to kind of grab as many pieces that they can, and I think Dew's done a great job so far of grabbing them as much draft capital as they can because obviously that goes a long way, and especially those first round picks if they're potentially at the bottom of the barrel in the next few years, those first round picks can either be flipped or you see how big it is to get a top five pick. I mean, you look at the top scorers in the NHL right now, or I mean, I think majority of them were top 20 picks, so
Yeah.
it goes a long way, and yeah,
I think it's been really good. I kind of wrote like a little thing at the end here for his drafting overall in Pittsburgh so far. He definitely has a good eye for top end talent. Like his first round picks have really been, I think very good. I mean, all these first round picks have kind of proven to be at least something. But there was definitely a lack of steals. I know that he's not the guy that does the scouting and right, they have scouts and stuff like that, but he is ultimately the guy that makes the decision. So there is definitely a lack of steals and heavy value later in the drafts for these classes so far, and um, that was something that he was pretty good at in Toronto, which we will touch on. But
Mm.
yeah, do you
Yeah,
want to
where
go
do you want
to
to go to
do you
next?
want to go to trades or signings in Pittsburgh? Which one do you want to touch on?
Uh, let's go with let's go signings just because I'm right on it.
Okay. I mean, first one. I mean, probably the biggest one was Sidney Crosby on his very very team friendly deal. In my opinion, I think he could have got a lot more than what he got anywhere, open market or in Pittsburgh. Honestly, especially for how short the term was as well. Um, yeah, I mean that was just awesome for him to come back, and obviously he wants to win, and I think that was a steal for them.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I mean, I think his contract will be up this year, right? So
Yeah, yeah,
it'd be interesting to see what Dubas can do with that again. I mean, you just kind of seen it the last little bit. Like when the team doesn't have Sid, they kind of seem a little bit lost. Like
yeah,
obviously Malkin can take over, but Malkin's getting older too. So yeah, if they can lock in Sid for another couple years, I think that'd be great, especially for these young kids that they got coming up.
yeah. 2 year 8.7 coming up again, guaranteed.
More than likely.
A couple other. I mean, I really only wrote down one more signing. To be honest with you, there has not been much, um, and this is a bad one. I got Ryan Graves, 4.5 million for 6 years. At the time, I don't think it was too egregious of a contract, but it has definitely aged poorly. He is not the D man he used to be or was supposed to be. Um, yeah, that's the only really other one that I noticed was of use for me to put down.
Yeah, I agree. There didn't have too much for the Pittsburgh signings here. Not a whole lot that he's done there, obviously, in that department yet. A couple minor ones, like obviously he inked Kyle, Brunicky,
Yeah,
McGroarty, and all of them to entry levels, but that was bound to happen. So
yeah. I think it's hilarious that he inked Jaeger and McGrody. You know, like Winnipeg couldn't sign
yeah,
McGrody. um, yeah, on to the trades. I just got a few. I know we got to get to Toronto still, so we'll just run through these quick. His first trade that he made in Pittsburgh, I did not know this, was Eric Carlson um, to Pittsburgh, which, I mean, that's huge. Definitely wasn't cheap to get him. That's where their first round pick went in the Tanner Howe draft, was for Eric Carlson. Um, yeah, I mean, he's still there. He's still a decent defenseman, and I mean, it's just crazy to remember that how dominant he was on San Jose, and then got traded to Pittsburgh, and that was a crazy trade.
yeah, and we've kind of seen the resurgence of old EK65 the last couple of games. I think he's got the most points since the Olympic break, or yeah, he's got the most points since some point. He's got like 13 in his last eight. He's been an absolute dog. So hopefully he can keep up that production. It was fun watching him in his prime.
Yeah. Next one is when he traded away Jake Gensel to Tampa Bay. Got absolutely shafted. The thing, I guess, is he was an unrestricted free agent. Um, but still, I mean, that was not the trade that you want to make there. I didn't even write down the package. I just put in brackets definitely didn't get enough because it was not worth mentioning anyone. Um, yeah, not much else to say. It sucks that he left and whatever.
Yeah, and especially see how well he's done in Tampa Bay. He was obviously one of the best players on that Pittsburgh squad. It seemed like an interesting move.
Yeah. I got three small ones here. He got Archer Seelovs from Vancouver for a fourth. Igor Chinakhov from Columbus for a second and a third, and then Gerard and a second for Kulak. I like all three of these just because they are like a buy low on a talent upside kind of swing. I mean, Igor was a first round pick. Seelovs was a guy that absolutely dominated in the playoffs for Vancouver the year before. And then Gerard, I mean, he's a younger upside defenseman. He's not young, but he's younger than Kulak. Um, yeah, I like those for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I agree. Um, I like them. I think they got some good upside, and yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Pittsburgh's got to make some kind of moves to kind of progress their future. I would say they're probably, I don't know if you would agree with this, but they probably have one of the most up in the air futures right now, which is kind of what direction it's going to go. So I
Yeah,
think every little move that you can make that helps the team um, is going to be positive in the future. So I agree. I like these moves that they made as well.
yeah, and that's kind of what he was brought in to do, right? Like, get a younger team around Crosby and more skill. And I mean, I think he's done that. I wrote down. I think what he is best at now is his ability to buy low on on players and like getting value out of things, squeezing value out of everything that he has. I mean, lots of trades we didn't mention were like throw-ins for other trades that he got like a seventh round pick for, or would flip these guys for a fourth, or like I like the fact that he's not. He trades for these extra guys and he just flips them. He doesn't have to keep them around and act like they're a part of the future. So I really like that.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
And yeah, I mean now it's time.
Shall we go to the old pit or the old pit, the old fucking Toronto Maple
I
Leafs?
don't ever want to go somewhere called the Old Pit. Um, yeah, I mean this is. I mean, I really
We'll
thought
just
I really thought coming into this I was gonna maybe be a defender of Dubas. Um, I mean, just I remember it was really bad back then. Like everyone hated him, but I was like, how bad could it really be, right? And I guess we'll see. I mean, we're gonna talk about everything that went down, and I mean, 2018 till 2022, I think was or 2023 maybe.
yep.
Um, yeah, a lot of stuff went down. I mean, he already kind of had his core set. He had his Austin Matthew, Mitch Marner, William Nylander,
Kyle.
Morgan Riley. I mean, and he just had to re-sign him, and we'll touch on those contracts too. But where do you want to start?
I think let's just start off like we did with Pittsburgh. Might as well start off with the drafts here. 2018, Kyle Dubas' first draft with the team. First round pick, 29th overall. He took Rasmus Sandin. So, um, yeah, obviously, seeing what Sandin's been like in Washington. He didn't play very bad actually when he was in Toronto there either. He played 140 games over his couple seasons there and uh, 48 points. So,
Yeah,
was definitely growing. But I mean, 0.3 points per game, he can't complain, especially from a young defenseman.
yeah, and the thing with him too was he got traded at the end of his tenure. I think it was like his second last trade or something like that, and it definitely just felt like it was time for him to go. He had a really good career there in Toronto. I thought just offensive guy, and it felt like you couldn't have him and Morgan Riley on the team. But yeah, I mean, very good player. I was always a fan of Sandy, and so
Mhm.
second round pick that same year, a guy that did not get any NHL minutes for them, I don't think. Sean Dursey, very good defenseman out in L.A. I mean, just very. Is he still in L.A.? He is, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Because I couldn't remember because there was like some rumors and um, but yeah, I really like Sean Dursey. Again, another kind of offensive guy, but uh, I didn't. It's hard to say, right? Because they got what trade was that?
Muzzin.
Oh yeah, Jake Muzzin. Yeah, Jake Muzzin for him. So I mean, looking back, not great, but at the time, I guess you could be convinced otherwise. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, other than that pick, I think that pretty much wrapped up his 2018 draft. I will highlight in the sixth round they did draft
Yeah,
Pontus Holmberg. Um,
Very good pick.
he played about half a season for Toronto, spent a bit of his time with the Marlies, but yeah, good value pick in the sixth round there. Obviously made the Olympic team this year, so
Hmm.
yeah, good find there in the late rounds.
Yeah, 2019. I wrote down one name, and it's not even just like he's been good. It's just kind of their only notable name that I thought of writing down, and it was Nick Robertson, guy that was definitely very hyped up out of the draft there, and obviously being Jason Robertson's brother, he was definitely looked upon to be just as good or better. Obviously he wasn't, but I still think there's a level of respect for Nick Robertson. He's still on the Leafs now. Requested a trade last year, didn't get granted, and I mean it's it's intriguing because like a young player like that, maybe they should have traded him a couple years ago because now it's like you know what he is. He's gonna be a third line scorer, and that's kind of it. But yeah, I mean, good hockey player. That's all I got to say about him.
Yeah, that was the only note I had for that draft. Not much went on. Didn't have the first, and yeah, I mean, not too much to highlight there.
Yeah,
But forward here to 2020,
yeah,
first round pick, they took, I might butcher this name a little bit, Rodion Amirov. Um, I mean, very hard to kind of say how this pick
yeah,
would have turned out and whatnot. Obviously, he was diagnosed with cancer in 2022. I think it was like a few years after the draft, 2021 maybe. So,
yeah.
um, yeah, I don't know if he's really played a whole lot since then.
He
I
passed away.
didn't check his numbers or anything. Did he pass away?
Mm.
Yeah, so I mean, like you can't really judge this first round pick. Like obviously couldn't really show his talents, and obviously it's not on Dubas here. So
Yeah. Um, yeah. Obviously, rest in peace. That's I mean, just terrible. I mean, I remember when he got drafted and all the Leafs fans were upset because they wanted a defenseman and Braden Schneider was on the board. I remember I was a big Braden Schneider guy, and for them to take another 5'9", 5'10" forward, it definitely felt strange for them. And then once he got diagnosed, it just yeah. I mean, you can't really say much after that, right? And um, yeah, it just sucks. It sucks that that happened for all parties. I mean, obviously it's terrible.
yeah, no, 100%. But
And
other
then
than that, I mean, nothing really else in this draft. Did you have anything highlighted here?
yeah, I just wrote down goaltender Artur Akhtiamov in the fourth round. Uh, he's a pretty good goalie prospect. Has had a couple good seasons with the Marlies. I think he could be maybe a backup someday for someone. I don't think it's gonna be the Leafs, but I think he has like pretty good backup potential for sure.
I like it. I like it. You want to highlight the 2021 draft
Yeah,
here?
the guy, hey, Matthew Nyes. I mean, COVID season, COVID draft. This was a weird one. I mean, this was the year I knew the least about the draft for sure. Um, and when they
I
took
think
Matthew,
everyone.
yeah, and I took when they took Matthew Nyes, he was on that really good line, and he was kind of like the third best player on that line, and I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure to be honest. He was a big forward that put up a lot of points in college, and I mean, obviously it turned out amazing because he is such a good player.
Yeah, this was such a weird draft. Like I don't even think the OHL, maybe even the QMJHL played games at all this season. Like you've seen players like Wyatt Johnson slipped late first round because of that and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. But yeah, obviously for the circumstances and where they got him in the draft, this was a great value pick, especially if you were to look at a redraft from 2021. Matthew Nyes would probably be in the top three of that draft.
Oh yeah,
So, yeah, super good value pick here for Dubas and definitely going to be a piece that Maple Leafs build around in the future.
yeah, for sure.
Um,
2022. You got any good names
wait,
here? There's a couple. Oh, you got another
I
one?
wanted to just go, yeah, I wanted to just highlight another guy here.
Nice.
Ty Voigt,
Yeah.
fifth
Nice.
round, they picked him up. I watched him in the Memorial Cup. I can't remember if it was last year or 2 years ago. He looked sick. He's got sick mitts.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, he put up a lot of points in the OHL. I think that pick could potentially turn out to be decent for Toronto.
Yeah, I like that. I wasn't sure if you were a Ty Voigt guy, so I do really
Like
like
him.
that. Um, 2022, no first round pick this year. They take Fraser Minton in the second round. Obviously, he's not a Toronto Maple Leaf anymore, and it looks like the trade that they made to send him away is going to turn out poorly. Brandon Carlo has not been great. Fraser Minton has been actually a pretty good piece there in Boston, and I mean, I could see him eventually becoming maybe a consistent second line player there, second line center. Um, but yeah, I mean, definitely not a good look to trade him, especially with how much he's improved these last couple of years.
Yeah, and especially I don't think he was bad at all in Toronto.
No,
Like I thought he played good hard minutes. Especially for the age that he was getting thrown out sometimes against not necessarily the top line, but team second unit,
yeah,
and he was holding his own. And I don't know. I mean, I remember saying a little bit ago that this was kind of after the World Juniors and stuff, and where he kind of took that boost in junior. I kind of said that I could see him being a future captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I
yeah,
mean, obviously that's going to change. And now I'm saying that he could possibly be a future captain of the Boston Bruins.
for
So
sure.
he just kind of seems to has that like leadership mentality. Obviously, you don't get given the C on the World Junior team for no reason. So
Yeah,
yeah, I like this kid, and I think it was a great value pick. Obviously, they don't have him anymore, but at the time, it looked good.
yeah. They also got fourth round pick Dennis Hildeby, goaltender. I mean, I really like him. He is huge. I remember when he got drafted. I kept on seeing highlights of him. I can't remember where he played, but SHL maybe, or something like that. But
Yeah,
um, yeah, I mean, just a huge goalie. I mean, he's 6'6", and he's got like this style that most big goalies don't have, where big goalies are a little bit, they've got a couple more holes in them. They got bigger gaps, and he looks filled out, or just the way he plays. I don't know, but he looks really good, and I could see him being a future starter for the Leafs here.
yeah, you are right. He did come out of Sweden. Not too sure too much, or I don't know too much about him. I haven't seen him too much. I'm gonna go with your word that this guy's gonna be hopefully the backbone for the Toronto Maple Leafs in the future.
Yeah, maybe I'm too high on him, but I like him. So,
I like it.
um,
I like it. I'm gonna have to check him out.
you got
I
anyone
wanted
else
to
in
highlight
that?
another one.
Yeah,
Yeah, one more guy here. I always butcher these Russian names. Nikita Krebyonkin or something like
yeah,
that.
something like that. Yeah, it's got a weird tinge in it.
Uh, I think he got traded to New Jersey now.
Phil, oh,
Correct
did
me if
he?
I'm wrong. Oh,
I
Philly. Yeah,
think
you're
it's
right,
Philly.
Philly.
Yeah,
Yeah, he got traded to Philadelphia now. Yeah, he seemed like a decent player. He just brings vibes. Like I
oh
just
yeah,
like this kid's energy. He's just awesome. Back check, forecheck, paycheck.
yeah.
That was the best quote of all time. So
Man,
yeah, I just wanted to highlight him.
his interviews are awesome too. I don't know if you've seen his interviews,
Oh yeah,
but
so good.
he seems like a guy that's just like gonna play a full season, fourth line. I mean, the entire season. Like it's not a guy you scratch because you need that, and I mean he can make an impact on the fourth line. Yeah, I really like
And
him
he
too.
kind of, yeah, and he kind of, to me, just seems like this guy, like you said, if he plays on the fourth line, I don't think he's really going to give a fuck. Like, he's just
No,
going to wear it on the chin and he's just going to play the hard, dirty minutes. Like,
yeah,
I like this player. So, yeah, obviously not a Maple Leaf anymore.
yeah. I think him and Mitchkov get along pretty well too. So
Yeah, that's fair. What a bum he's turned out to be. Jeez.
I can't believe that. I can't even talk about Mitchkov, man.
We'll get to it in a later episode.
Yeah, here you go. Here's my worst take ever. I thought Mitchkov was gonna be way better than Demidov.
Dude, there was a point I did too, so it's all good.
Yeah, it's a tough look, but
Let's get into the Toronto Maple Leaf signings on a brighter note.
yeah, much brighter. John Tavares,
Right
seven
out the gate.
years, 11 million. I mean, he wanted to be a Maple Leaf. Rumor has it he got offered 13 million to go to San Jose. I mean, could you imagine if he was in San Jose with that team? My goodness. But yeah, I mean, wanted to go to Toronto, and that was the birth of the core four.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at this contract now, obviously, I think it was last year he signed the like kind of hometown deal
Yeah,
or whatever. But I mean, at the end of this contract, it was kind of looking like a bit of an overpay. But I mean, I think at the time, I don't think Leaf fans were too upset with this, especially bringing in, like, I think John Tavares was an MVP candidate a couple seasons prior. So you're bringing in a huge, probably a top 20 player in the league at the time, especially with the young core that they had around them at this time when they brought him in. Yeah, it looked very promising in Leafland. Like you said, this was the birth of the core four.
Yeah, and I mean he still puts up really good numbers. He definitely hasn't gotten better with
Very
age.
underrated.
Yeah, definitely, but he's definitely like changed as he's gotten older, his play style and um, yeah, I mean there was times in Toronto when people thought it was an overpay when they weren't doing good in the playoffs, and I mean they never really did that great, but yeah, even by the end you kind of knew that they kind of timed it perfectly. They never really had any years where he wasn't putting up production.
Yeah, I know exactly. And then the next big trading or the next big signing coming up here, obviously, people remember back to the 2018-2019 season. Willie Nylander did not join the team until
Yeah.
just about around Christmas time sometime. He had the contract pulled out, and then they finally got him inked. 7.51 mil at 6 years. Great looking contract at the time. Like they were signing one of their obviously their best players and one of their future core pieces, and he's still one of the best, if not the best, Toronto Maple Leaf right now. So, yeah,
Yeah, that contract looked like a steal a couple of years ago. I mean, thinking about, I mean, at the time it was definitely he hadn't had much NHL minutes, and you were kind of taking a chance, kind of the same way they did on Nyes. Like you got to resign Nyes to that contract, and um, but yeah, to get Nylander on
can't
it,
let him walk.
yeah, exactly. I mean, you got to resign him, and that was a weird year. I remember him not playing, and uh, yeah, I mean, to just sit out for that contract seemed crazy to me. Like I thought he was gonna get like 9 at the time, and it's like, what are we sitting out for? Were they trying to pay you 5? Like,
Yeah, and I remember too at the time, I think we were around grade 10 or so. It was the first time I really seen a big contract dispute like that, like where the player was
yeah,
holding, especially like a player, not necessarily Nylander was a superstar then, but like a rising star, like that, especially I think he was just coming like this was his first contract off his entry level, kind of sitting out and waiting that long.
yeah,
So yeah, it was super interesting, but they were definitely glad at the end of the day they got him inked.
yeah. Next, I mean, just ringing off the big contracts here, we got Austin Matthews, 5 years, $11.6 million. Um, I this was tough for me because 5 years really felt like the beginning of the end in Toronto. That would have taken him to his first year as a UFA, skipping all of his RFA years. Um, so he would have been an unrestricted free agent by the end. He was an unrestricted free agent by the end of this contract, which is definitely risky. I mean, usually you want to get him up to 8 years because then you have him for those extra 3 years before you have to worry about a contract. And that 5 years definitely looked like he was going to be a Arizona Coyote by the end of it, but he stuck around. So
Yeah, I agree. The term was definitely the iffy thing here. You are losing 3 years, like you said, of um, potential contract. So yeah, that wasn't a big highlight for them. Obviously, I think this might have been the highest AAV contract in the league at the time.
yeah, I think you're right.
Might have to fact check that. I'm not too positive, but yeah, no, maybe I'm wrong actually because I think McDavid signed before Matthews. But anyways, so it would have been one of the highest AAVs in the league. So Matthews was looking like a superstar, but yeah, the term was just obviously they wanted to keep him locked in a bit longer.
Yeah, I mean,
Not that he's gone, but
yeah, I no, I got you. I'm just looking that up right now.
the AAV.
Yeah,
I
when
think it was.
Austin
I
Matthews
think it was
signed.
probably. I think it was Davo
Yeah,
at
it was
12.
McDavid at
So
12 and a half. Matthews was number 2 in the league at the time.
gotcha.
I got a couple
Um,
smaller ones that I want to point out
yeah.
before we go to another big. Or you might have. I mean, there's lots of signings in Toronto here. Lots of fun
Mhm.
ones. I got Andreas Janssen and Kasperi Kapanen, both signing medium term deals. Andreas signed a 4-year, 3.4 million, captain 3-year, 3.2. Um, I don't know how well those contracts aged, to be honest. They both got shipped off, I think, on their last year of the contract. Uh, they've always been good at bringing guys up. Like Janssen was a nobody, like just kind of came out of nowhere and just turned into a really good player for them. And then when they got rid of him, he was a nobody again. So it's just weird, some of these players that get signed in Toronto, and once they leave, they're just nothing happens.
Yeah, and well, Kapanen too. He was somebody that I had high hopes for. Like I think he was a fairly high draft pick, and
Yeah,
I think I can't remember exactly where he came out of, but I think it was either Finland or Sweden there. And
Finland. Yeah,
he put up good numbers in whatever respective league that he had, and he had a lot of promise. So yeah, it sucks that he hasn't panned out successfully anywhere really either.
yeah. I was really big on him too. Like World Juniors with Aho and
Mm-hmm.
who was the other forward on that line? I can't. Rantanen, maybe. I think it was Rantanen, right? Or no, he'd
Could
be
have been
older.
Line.
Oh, Line, yeah. I think you're
Yeah,
right.
dang,
Damn,
that was a
we're
crazy year
old.
they won it.
Yeah. Yeah, I really liked Kapanen back then. I thought he was gonna be a star. Just so
Mm-hmm.
fast, and I've never seen a guy get so many breakaways in my life.
Yeah, no, literally. Well, little trade I want to highlight. Jason Spezza,
Yeah.
1 year, 700K. They got him on like a veteran's minimum, pretty much. I just thought this was a fun trade. I always was a kind of bit of a fan of Jason Spezza when he was in his prime when I was younger. I always just thought he was kind of cool and stuff. I don't know why, but yeah, I thought that this was an okay signing at the time. Like you're just bringing in old veterans who can kind of help mentor those young guys like Austin Matthews, Marner. Like they were only 3, 4 years into their careers at the time, so just bringing in that kind of depth guy who's played a lot of playoff hockey and has gone quite far. Like he went to the finals with Ottawa and stuff. So yeah, I
Yeah.
thought this was a fun trade, fun signing at the time.
Yeah, I agree. I had him written down too. The thing I really respected about Jason Spezza is he outplayed that contract, and he just kept coming back every year for a minimum. Um, I remember I was like, yeah, he's gone, or they're paying him 2.5 mil. But he just came back on the minimum. I think it was three more times after that initial year, which is crazy. Um, yeah, I definitely. I mean, Jason Spetz has also got like a little bit of psychopath in him, which I've always liked. Like,
Yeah,
I
it's like
remember,
Cowboy. You know?
I can't remember who got hit. Someone got hit and no one did anything, and Spezza definitely like just dove into the guy's legs, like super dirty. But like, I mean, you need a psycho or two.
That's that. That's the farm pedigree. You know.
Yeah, that's right.
Next trade I wanted to highlight here, just quickly. Well, I guess is a bigger one, obviously, so not quickly, but Cody Cece, 4.5 mil,
Yeah,
1 year deal. Yeah, what were your thoughts on this? Obviously, didn't pan out great,
yeah.
and yeah, I'm still not a huge
Oh,
fan of Cody Cece.
yeah. He had some rough years in Toronto. I mean, we'll get to his trade, I'm sure too. Um, but man, there was some there were some times there's some players in the NHL that I just I can't watch without just being so angry. Uh, Cody CC. I mean, another guy that I was gonna mention was Justin Hall. Um, just painful to watch. Just I don't know what teams see in these guys to give them these contracts, and Justin Hall ended up in Detroit after it, which was also terrible. Um, no offense, Justin Hall. Like you're a good player. You just make too much money. You know. If you ever see this, which you won't, but you might. Yeah, too much money for CC.
Yeah, agreed.
One more before we go to the big one. Kerfoot on a 4 year,
Kerfoot,
$3.5 million contract. Um, he actually was a really good player for them. Very versatile. Played a lot of penalty kill.
Swiss Army knife.
Played third line. Could win faceoffs. 3.5 mil wasn't bad for him at all. But yeah, I think that's a really good contract. And I mean, not really good, but decent, decent.
Yeah, I thought it was just small, kind of mid-bridge deal, and yeah, nothing crazy here.
Yeah.
Till we get to the crazy one,
Yes.
obviously here. Mitch Marner, 10.9 mil, 6 year deal. got him locked up, and then this was kind of the first time that the entirety of the core four was locked up for some term. So things were kind of shaping up in Toronto land, and yeah, obviously Mitch Marner did what he did in Toronto. Isn't a Maple Leaf anymore, but yeah, I thought obviously don't look not looking at his playoff numbers, his regular season numbers, he was a dog for them. So yeah, good value for that for fourth overall pick, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, talking about Marner, it's just sad. I mean, I think they made the wrong decision clearly to get rid of him. They're not the same team. I definitely think it should have been Morgan Riley on the chopping block. I know that might sound kind of crazy to move a D-man to keep four $11 million forwards, but um, yeah, they made the wrong choice. They made the wrong choice. He was so good there. Most overhated player in the league besides Matthews, maybe. So just a talent. I'm so happy he's in Vegas and is having fun again.
mhm.
Another bad contract. This one's a little bit more unfortunate because he got hurt, so it didn't really matter. But Jake Muzzin was actually very good for the Leafs when they got him initially. Signed a 4 year, $5.6 million contract. I don't even know how many years they got out of that. Maybe two, maybe even only 1 year. I mean, he had really bad injuries. I think it was back injuries. It could have been something else, but um, yeah, I mean, at the end of that, it was he was on LTIR and some stints in the AHL, and he just never really came back the same player. So
Yeah, no, exactly, and yeah, I mean, you pretty much hit the hammer on the head. There's not much more I could say there. It's just kind of unfortunate what happened and how it turned out, and yeah. Next, next trade here. Oops, sorry, my notes got all mixed up. TJ Brody,
yeah,
5 years, 4 million. This was right at the beginning of the 2021 season. Yeah, what were your thoughts on this?
yeah, another player that I actually thought was pretty good in Toronto. Again, I think by the end of that contract, it was bad value, but um, the beginning I thought was okay. I thought he was a very savvy defensive defenseman. I mean, he wasn't brought in to be that, but he played with Morgan Riley, and I mean, I remember watching him and just thinking like, how is he so good with his stick? Stick checking was his best ability, I think, back then, and um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. How did you feel about it? Because I'm kind of right in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like he was a decent player there. I don't think that it was necessarily a bad contract. Maybe some could say maybe it was a slight overpay for him, but I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, you it's a pedigree player. You checked really, really hard, and that's kind of what they needed at the time. I mean, they had their skill guys, and it kind of rolls off into the next signing that I want to talk about, the Wayne Simmons trade or signing, sorry, the 1.5 mil 1 year,
Yeah,
kind of the same sort of principle. Obviously, Brody more skill and everything, but just kind of those checking kind of players that kind of build around those skill players that they had.
yeah. I remember Wayne Train, and that was a fun couple seasons there with him there, and I mean, same with like Zach Bogosian. I didn't know if you were gonna touch on him or not, but we might as well group these guys together. Just two big, strong, physical, willing to fight players that set the tone. I mean, yeah, Wayne is a fun player to watch. I mean, he's one of those guys that doesn't look like he should be able to fight, but just can sling the hands.
Yeah, his legs are the size of a toothpick. It's
Yeah, super skinny.
yeah.
Kind of on.
Next, just a little quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
Okay. Just a small little trade or a little sign. I keep saying trade. Small little signing that I want to just highlight here was the Jimmy VC signing. Signed
Nice.
for 1 year, 900,000. Just was kind of hoping for a resurgence of this guy's career. Obviously, I think he was the Hobie Baker winner out of college, and then New
Yep.
York got his rights. And yeah, this guy I thought was going to be a pedigree player. He had a lot of hype coming out of college, and just never could get the wheels rolling. So I thought maybe coming to Toronto, things would kind of get going again with all the young skill that they had to place around him. But
Yeah.
obviously, it didn't quite work out.
Yeah. he's always been a guy that's had a little bit of not off ice issues, but there's always been rumblings about him and his attitude and stuff like that. But I mean, he was. I mean, I really liked him. I mean, he was even when he played for the Leafs, it was just like, why don't they play him more? You know, he's hitting. He just wasn't like exceptional at anything. He was just very good, or let's say good at everything. He could score, play make, hit. I mean, yeah, he just didn't have that one trait that could keep him in a lineup.
Mhm.
He went back to New York, right? After Toronto?
I think so. And
So
then finished
strange.
there.
So strange. Another player that signed for a minimum, guy that we mentioned last episode as well, Jumbo Joe Thornton. Uh, so much fun when he was there. I mean, he was the dad of the team. Just a guy that you have in the locker room, and I really liked what he brought in the regular season and the playoffs. He definitely, I remember he struggled quite a bit in the playoffs, and they were kind of reluctant to sit him because he's just a veteran that you kind of feel like you need. But he definitely did struggle in the playoffs. So I remember that, and um, but yeah, I mean, you need to sign guys like this to raise the floor and just bring in a new regime, new thought process to the team was kind of their thinking there.
Yeah, I thought this was a great signing. Just maybe, yeah, not even just maybe, for sure the biggest beauty of all time in NHL history. Jumbo, just
Yeah,
coolest guy ever. And I think all Toronto fans were hoping for him to get a 4 goal night because you know what he would have done. If you know, you know.
yeah. That's a good show. I forgot about that. That's good.
Next little signing here I want to highlight was Ilya Mikheyev. He signed him for 2 years, 1.65. I'm not actually too sure how well he played when he was in Toronto. I just kind of wrote the signing down just because he's kind of been a decent player for
Yeah,
Chicago. So seems like maybe they didn't give him enough opportunity there, but I'm not too sure.
yeah. He definitely outplayed that contract. Oh my goodness, he he's so fast. I mean, I remember watching those Toronto games and thinking like, how is this guy who's 6'3", 215 whatever, he's probably heavier, flying? He's so fast. I
Yeah,
mean, and he's just a big body. I remember he would get lots of breakaways too. He was kind of like their new captain. Um, but yeah, I'm glad you brought him up because I really like Ilya Mikheyev too. Big fan. Um,
um,
Next
yeah.
up, I got
You
Peter
go.
Mrazek, 3 years, 3.8 million in Toronto. Definitely a strange contract. I think it was a trade and sign, maybe. I can't remember exactly. There was some, maybe they traded him away. I can't remember, but um, yeah, I mean, 3 years, $3.8 million. Another guy that I was a huge fan of as a Detroit fan. I loved Mrazek. Um, Obviously, it didn't work out super well in Toronto, but was a super fun goalie to watch. I definitely enjoyed his time in Detroit more than I enjoyed Toronto for sure.
Yeah, and honestly, before we, when I was doing my research for this episode, I honestly forgot that he played there for a little bit in Toronto. Just kind of slipped my memory. Um, Next one here. Yeah, let's go here. Let's go with the Nick Ritchie trade or signing. Every
Ooh.
time I see trade, golly.
When we do
The
trades,
Nick
you're gonna
Ritchie
say
signing.
signings, eh?
Yeah, literally. The Nick Ritchie signing here, 2.5 mil, 2 years. Yeah, just kind of bringing in some beef in the lineup. Obviously a big pedigree guy. Not a huge fan of him, but yeah, I don't think that this was a horrible signing, especially low value, low risk. So I didn't mind this at the time.
Yeah, just a guy that could jump in the lineup right away and didn't make too much of an impact, but was a big body that could throw his weight around.
Mhm.
One more before we get
Yep.
to the last big one. I got Cali Yarncroke, 4 years, 2.1 million. Definitely a good AAV for him at the time. It was just that term. It's very hard to sign a guy that's never going to be a top six player to more than 2, 3 years. So when you're pushing to 4 years, it's definitely tough. I mean, looking at that contract now, it doesn't look great now, to be honest. He's on the last year of it now, I believe, so it's definitely too much for what they're getting out of him at the moment.
Mhm. Shall we go to the last big one, and
Yeah.
get your opinion on this Morgan Riley deal?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Obviously, this was inked right before the 21-22 season,
Yep.
and yeah, 7.5 mil, 8-year deal. What were your thoughts on this? It doesn't look great now. I don't know if it looked great at the time.
Yeah. I mean, it was tough because,
Actually, no, it did look good at the time,
yeah,
looking back on it. I mean, I think people were more so worried about his play and the regression and the term that he had gotten at the time, like 8 years. And
yeah,
he was a good player then, but definitely wasn't the player that he was even in just 2018, 2019, the COVID years.
yeah. Um, yeah, I think the hope with that contract was he was going to improve where he struggles, and it feels like he's just been the same player his entire career. To be honest, I don't think his play has gotten better for sure, but I don't think it's dipped drastically either. I feel like he's kind of just been the same guy his whole career, and uh, yeah, it was tough. I think at the time it was a pretty decent contract, and now it's look, especially when you're trying to build a different kind of defensive core, it doesn't seem like he fits very well in Toronto.
Yeah, especially, I mean, at the time of his draft, I can't remember what year it was, 2006 maybe, 2007, somewhere around there. He was in the rumblings for the going first overall out of Moose Jaw. I think he went fifth overall. He ended up going. But yeah, there was talks of him going number one that year and even in the top three. So just kind of seeing the player that he's turned out to be from somebody who was in the rumors for going number one. It's
Yeah,
just yeah, obviously not what you want.
yeah.
Is there any other little trade or little signings that you want to mention
No,
here?
there were a couple, but nothing of note for me. If do you have anything else?
No, nothing
No.
major of note.
I think this is where things get disastrous for me.
Yeah, the
Where the trades,
trades, baby.
I think a lot of people had a lot of issues with his signings. When you're throwing around those $11 million contracts, people are, how are you gonna afford this? How are you gonna afford it? That's too much. I don't think any of those contracts aged too badly, but these trades are interesting to say the least. I don't even know where to
Yeah,
start. Do you want to start from the worst, or do you want to start at the
I
first? I
think.
mean,
Yeah, I mean, let's just start. I mean, it's one
maybe
of the
the
worst,
first
and it's
is
one
the
of the
worst.
first here. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, obviously, first big kind of trade that Kyle Dubas made in Toronto land was the Jake Muzzin trade. So obviously they picked up Jake Muzzin, and this is where they sent off Jersey, Gabranson, or Grunson, sorry, and their 2019 first round pick. So that's where they lost it that year. And yeah, I mean, looking back on this trade, like you said, maybe they got a year or two out of the Muzzin contract and him in return. So yeah, it just doesn't look like a good trade looking back on it now.
Yeah, definitely a tough look. Um, it's so tough. I mean, at the time, it looked like it was going to be okay, just based on value. You didn't know what Jersey was going to be. Grunstrom's still a guy that plays for them on and off, third, fourth line. Um, yeah, definitely a tough look.
Hmm.
The one that I
I
wrote
just,
down first. Oh, go ahead.
I just want to highlight a little one here. Kind of right after that, about a month or so after that, Toronto picked up Nick Patan in a deal with the Winnipeg Jets for Peter Lindholm.
Yeah.
I liked this at the time just because I was a huge Nick Patan fan for
Yes.
what he did at the World Juniors. He was absolutely electric. So I was hoping he was going to do big things in Toronto, and he just kind of hasn't turned out to that player that kind of projected to be in his early days.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, I was a big Nick Patan guy too. I remember my brother was a big fan too. So, um, when that happened, we were definitely both intrigued to see what he could become. But obviously, it didn't work out great in Toronto. I mean, he had a couple little on off stints, but he just never really turned into a standalone NHL player. So,
Hmm.
the first one I got written down is the Patrick Marleau trade. to Carolina. This was a salary dump,
Mm.
and this one hurt. This one hurt. He didn't sign Marlowe to this deal. I think it was about $5.6 million, something like that. And to re-sign their players, they had to move off this contract, and to move off this contract, they had to give up a first-round pick. Um, definitely tough. I don't love that for Toronto.
Yeah, and especially, I mean, look, the first round pick ended up turning out to be Seth Jarvis,
Yeah,
so definitely would have been a player that Toronto probably would have liked to have in their lineup. But yeah, I mean, at the time, like you said, it was a salary dump. They had to get rid of the aging Marlowe's contract, and yeah, I mean, kind of had to do what they had to do at the time, but obviously doesn't look good in retrospect.
yeah. I think. Yeah, I mean, we'll get to more trades. Obviously, I think Dubas was just too eager. I mean, there's no way you could move Marlowe in 2 seconds
Hmm.
to get off that contract. You know what I mean? Or like finagle a little bit. You don't have to just, oh, they'll take it. Let's get him out of here. Like, I don't know.
Hmm.
Um, what do you got next?
Next one, another big one here actually for Toronto. Um, this is going to be the trade with the Colorado
Yeah,
Avalanche. Toronto is
crazy.
going to acquire Tyson Berry, Alex Kerfoot, and a sixth rounder for Kadri, Cali Rosen, and a third round pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Nazem Kadri was a big player for Toronto for a lot of years, was kind of a fan favorite there. And then obviously he went and won a Stanley Cup with Colorado and was a core depth piece for them. So yeah, and it just kind of sucks to see how Tyson Berry, like he definitely wasn't a bad player in Toronto.
Yeah.
Um, Offensive minded defenseman, that's really where his game lacked. He lacked a lot on the defensive side of things. Was more so offensive minded, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, I'm pretty sure I liked this for Toronto quite a bit. You get a third line center and a first pair left D. Um, yeah, at the time, I think I liked it. I mean, Kadri was a guy that, I mean, in pivotal spots in the playoffs, he would hit a guy from behind, get suspended in the playoffs. I mean, there was a lot of issues stemming out of there, and looking back, I mean, you can definitely say that they lost that trade, just the value that Kadri brought to that Colorado team and still brings to, I mean, he brings to Colorado now, I guess, again. Um, I mean, yeah, definitely a tough one to look back at, but at the time, I think Toronto fans were pretty excited.
Hmm.
Next one I got is the Cody Ceci trade. I mean, they got Ceci in a third for Zaitsev, Connor Brown, and Michael Carcone. Um, this is a tough one too because Connor Brown is a guy that I've always really liked and always kind of knew was going to be a full time NHL player. Maybe not a first line guy, but um, it's just there's a lot of issues here with contracts. I mean, the Zaitsev contract was huge. That was the main reason that they didn't get much. I mean, they gave up Zaitsev, who was on too big of a contract for his play, and then they get Cody Ceci in a third. I don't know. This is a weird trade because I don't like it for either side at all. So
Hmm. Yeah, I had a lot of hope for Connor Brown in these years. He put up big numbers in junior. I think he won the OHL MVP the one year. So I was just kind of hoping for a resurgence somewhere out of his career. But yeah, like you said, it just kind of seemed like a lackluster trade both ways.
yeah, and Connor Brown's been awesome in Edmonton when he was there. So
Hmm. Yeah, no, exactly. Next, just a little trade that I want to highlight, just because I like this guy. Toronto acquired Jordan Schmaltz, the man from Wisconsin. Obviously, it didn't work out. I don't even know if he played a game for Toronto,
I don't
but
think so.
yeah, shout out to him.
I like that. I like that. I got the Clifford Jack Campbell trade. This one, this one is another one that I'm pretty torn on because I really liked Trevor Moore. They give
Mhm.
Trevor Moore and two third round picks, or maybe was it two thirds or a second and a third? I think.
Yeah, it was. I got the condition written down here. So it was a third round pick and a conditional third round pick, and the third rounder in 21 became a second round pick if
Okay.
Clifford re-signed with the Leafs or
Uh,
Campbell wins a certain amount of games. It was a
okay.
weird stipulation.
Okay. So, yeah, weird trade. I mean, Trevor Moore's turned into a really good full time NHL player, and I mean, I don't want to like tip my own hat here, but I always thought he would be. I mean, definitely a guy that you just watch and can kind of see it. But they did get Jack Campbell. I mean, the guy in Toronto was electric. Electric.
Hmm.
Like just a resurgence story. I think he was 29 years old when he came, 20, 28, 29 years old when he came over and just, I mean, unlocked something and went on a miracle run in the playoffs. They didn't go very far, but he was dynamic all season and all playoffs.
Hmm. Yeah, he was great there, and I think now he's the highest paid player in AHL history.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, Edmonton destroyed him.
crazy.
Edmonton ruined him.
It's insane.
Which next trade did you want to go over here?
I got a small one if you want to cover the
Yep.
a couple of these other ones. I got they traded away Mason Marchment for Denny Mulligan. Um, Definitely a tough look. Denny Mulligan was another small forward, 5'9", 5'8" kind of guy that was supposed to come in and be their third line center. And looking back, I mean, look at what Mason Marchment has become. I mean, very good second line, definite second line player. I mean, can play up and down the lineup and has a nice physical style of play, and definitely would have been a guy that Toronto could have used.
Yeah, 100%. He was looking great this season, and yeah, I mean, definitely didn't age well for Toronto.
No.
Oh, I just wanted to highlight another little one here. I guess this one maybe you could say it was a bigger one, maybe not. But Toronto was going to acquire Nick Foligno from San Jose for a fourth round pick. Um, yeah, just kind of wanted to touch on that. I don't think he had a long tenure there, and then I think he went to Boston right after that. So maybe there was another team in between there,
Yeah,
but
he's been a
yeah,
lot of places.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean he was definitely a leadership guy there for a couple of years, but uh, yeah, good pickup, fourth round pick. That's pretty good.
Hmm.
Um, Another small one, they traded Kapanen and got a first round pick and Evan Rodriguez. Um, Evan Rodriguez wasn't a guy that stuck around and made an impact like he has on other teams, but uh, Kapanen was a guy that they just got what they could for him. So
Hmm. Yeah, another just little one here that I wanted to highlight. Jared McCann trade. They
yeah,
were going to pick him up, and they're going to dish off Hollander in a seventh round pick. Obviously, you see what McCann's been like in Seattle. He's been one of their top guys. So, just kind of another player that I think Toronto could be used, could have in the lineup and be an impact player for them right now.
yeah, and obviously that trade they got him for super cheap, but the only reason is because they left him unprotected in the Seattle draft. Um, to keep Kerfoot, they traded for McMahon to keep Kerfoot, which terrible, terrible evaluation. I mean, you gotta, I mean, keep McMahon or McCann.
Yeah.
No, oh, not McMahon. Oh, that's just nightmare fuel for the Leafs fans, man. McCann. It's bad over there. So, um, yeah, another small one that I had was maybe not a small one. Mark Giordano and Colin
Mhm.
Blackwell for 2 seconds and a third. I think this trade was kind of viewed as a strange one because Giordano was aging. He played there for a long time. I mean, and really, really impressed me with his style change. Was definitely an offensive guy in Calgary. Could play obviously defensively too, and but just flipped all defense in Toronto, all leadership. I mean, he was lights out for his age.
Yeah, definitely. I think he was the oldest Norris Trophy winner in NHL history.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just a pedigree player for him. Do you want to highlight another one here?
Yeah, I got a Chari for a Chari and two prospects for a first, second, and a third round pick. This is just another one of those trades I have an issue with where it's too much, too desperate, too much value, too many assets. Um, just another desperation move here.
Hmm. I'm gonna go do kind of a little bit of a bigger one here. The Blackhawks and Toronto are
Yeah,
gonna make a deal here. Then Toronto's gonna end up dishing Peter Mrazek and a first round pick, their 2022 first round pick. Um, for a 2022 second round pick in exchange. So just a super strange trade.
Little salary dump
Yeah, I
again.
mean, yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
you got to give up a first to do so. And in exchange, you get a second back. So yeah, shitty for Toronto.
Yeah. Another one I got Ryan O'Reilly for a fourth round pick. Um, I remember that team. That team was so much fun to watch. They tried in the playoffs. Those teams didn't do very good when they had all these old guys and bought really heavy at the deadline. They always struggled. Um, but yeah, I mean Ryan O'Reilly was a really good player, and I mean has definitely gotten better since he left there. So
Yeah, he's kind of started off slow in Nashville, but he's kind of had a super hot last, I don't know, 45% of the season maybe.
yeah,
So things are looking up in Nashville
same
there.
with Stammer. Whew, they're hot.
Yeah. You want to highlight the next one here?
Yeah, I got Jake McCabe, Sam Lafferty, and a couple late picks for some lower end prospects and a first and a second. Um, this has aged super well for Toronto. Jake McCabe has turned into a much better player in Toronto than when he was in Buffalo. Uh, yeah, I really like this one for Toronto. Actually, I think that's pretty good value.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think that definitely more so favors Toronto in this trade. And I mean, looking at all the trades that they've made in the past, this one's definitely favorable, I would say. Then I think kind of the last big-ish trade you could say Dubas made throughout his tenure there was sent Rasmus Sandin to Washington. In exchange, they were going to get Gustafson and a first-round pick.
Mm.
So getting a first-round pick there is nice. I don't recall who it turned into in 2023 there. That might have been Cowboy.
Yeah,
Um,
I think so.
but yeah, I like this for Washington. Sandin's been decent since getting there, and if that first-round pick is Cowboy, then yeah, I like this for Toronto as well.
Yeah, the last one that I had was let's see what I got. I got Luke Shen. This was a smaller trade, but Luke Shen for a third. Luke Shen was +8 in 11 playoff games for Toronto. Um, Super good. Shutdown D man. Still plays today. I got a signed stick of him and his brother, which is somewhere in my room. Um, but yeah, that's all I got for trades.
Yeah, me as well. I think that kind of wraps up the big trades, and I think that wraps up
Yeah,
kind of now we got our whole history on Kyle Dubas here outlined and what he's doing for Pittsburgh and what he did for Toronto. And yeah, looking on it now, what are your thoughts on everything? Do you think that he was a part of the downfall of the Toronto Maple Leafs, or do you think he helped put them into a position of success?
yeah. Um, I think that this is my statement. I'm staying it. This is my statement. I think that Kyle Dubas is one of the best selling team GMs I've ever seen. You think about these trades in Pittsburgh where he's flipping these assets for picks and buying low on talent, getting salaries retained. It looks like he's learned from his mistakes. Where teams are, where he was the one trading Marlowe and giving up a first, now he's bringing in contracts and taking picks. Like he brought in Kevin Hayes and his
Mhm.
contract and got a second for future considerations. I think it's shown that he can build a roster. I think, but when it comes to buying, too desperate, too willing to give up everything when the team is not the everything team. Um, it's not like you're the Colorado Avalanche this year and you're giving up the house because you can and you should. Um, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Where are you at?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, like especially looking at his tenure in Toronto, like you look at the playoff series. I mean, your superstars don't perform. Matthews didn't really perform. Marner didn't perform. Nylander. So, I mean, if things do push comes to shove, say in maybe 2 or maybe 3 of those years they go the conference finals, maybe it's a whole different story in Toronto. Obviously, you look at the
Yeah.
moves that Dubas made, and you can kind of see now where some things went wrong and stuff. But yeah, I always think it is tough when it comes to blaming GMs, especially for say like the downfall of a whole
Yeah.
team. Like you can definitely point fingers maybe at Lou Lamoriello.
Yeah.
We're completely destroying franchise, but I mean I think it's hard when your players aren't performing in the playoffs. Um, like it's not kind of like you kind of look at say the Edmonton Oilers where their players are performing in their playoffs, but their GM just isn't putting pieces around those players.
Yeah.
Like I think Dubas did do a decent job of getting like the veteran leadership to
Yeah.
Toronto,
He tried.
getting players. Yeah, like I definitely think he did his best with what he had. I think
Yeah.
some of the moves, obviously, like you said it best. I think he's learned a lot from what he did in Toronto and has taken it to Pittsburgh, and he's definitely
Yeah.
done, I think, a lot better job so far in Pittsburgh than his beginning tenure in Toronto. So yeah, I'm super on the fence about
I know.
was it his fault in Toronto, but I do like what he's doing in Pittsburgh. And if I can make a prediction, I think that Pittsburgh's going to be a little better well off in their rebuild than most people are
Yeah.
predicting. They are super, like I already said, up in the air, like maybe the most up in the air team right now on what their future is going to look like, maybe them in Washington. But yeah, so I think him in the driver's seat there, kind of learning what he did in Toronto, and
Yeah.
you're under the biggest microscope there in Toronto, like always getting grilled. So maybe it is a little more lax in Pittsburgh where he can kind of just make some trades in the dark and make some moves in the dark where he doesn't have to have the spotlight always on him.
Yeah. For sure. And
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
he was the youngest GM, right, for a long time. I mean, youngest GM in the biggest hockey city. I mean, a lot of pressure. I think my ultimate decision is it's Toronto curse. I mean, you look at even now, their team now. Dubas goes and look where this team went. Is it Dubas or is it just Toronto? I
exactly,
mean, what else can you really
exactly.
what else can you really say?
No, that's exactly right. So yeah, I mean they got some work to do now, and it'll be interesting to see how their future kind of pans out.
Yeah. I mean, that wraps it up. I mean, let us know, everyone, let us know what you
Mm-hmm.
think of this kind of informative video. It's a little different. Usually we just kind of shoot the shit and laugh and talk about news that happened the week, but nothing's really happening in the NHL recently, so we thought we'd switch it up. If you have any ideas similar to this or not similar, leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear some cool ideas. I thought that me and DeAndre came up with this a long time ago, just thinking of ideas we could do and some intriguing thoughts, just thought provoking things. And yeah, just let us know what you think. And yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll do more.
Yeah, yeah. Let us know if you guys liked it, didn't like it, um, what you liked about it and what you didn't like about it, if there was specifics. And yeah, me and Chase are obviously big hockey historian nuts. Kind of all I do all day is look up hockey history stuff. So if you guys want more stuff like this, kind of either relaying information or maybe even talking about specific points in time, maybe specific tournaments, doing stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, just it's always fun to try and keep pushing the game of hockey. I think we both think it's the greatest game on earth, and
Yeah.
want as many people to play it as possible and as many eyes on it. So I think it's also important that people learn the history and kind of understand where it started from. And yeah, even doing stuff like this, like highlighting the Dubas trades and uh, being able to see like kind of where Toronto was in 2018 to now, I think it's super important. And yeah, please tell us what you
Yeah.
guys think on it.
The
Please
reflection's
keep,
super cool. Super cool.
yeah, and please keep liking our shorts and our reels and stuff like that. Repost, do what you got to do. You know what to do. Until next time.
Get a clue. Get a clue.